Yo, what's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. On today, it is the Keeping It Raw podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Click on that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we put up an upload. Hit the word all so that you'll receive every notification whenever we put up an upload. And not only that, guys, make sure you smash that like button. It's free and it don't cost you a thing. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with the channel and have been subscribing with the channel. Without you, none of this could be possible. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our installment. All right, guys, it is the Week 5 preview, the Colorado Buffs versus the USC Trojans. Definitely, this is probably going to be one of the toughest games of the year for the Buffs. And pretty much USC has definitely been playing lights out football. They're currently ranked 5th in the nation. And we'll see when the AP pool comes out, will they still stay at number 5. And I definitely think that Colorado is going to drop. Maybe they may drop to 24, 25, somewhere in there, because they had already dropped from 18 to 19. So we'll see as they take a loss and was pretty much destroyed and obliterated by the Oregon Ducks. Man, pretty much the score of that game was 42-6. It was already over at halftime. The score was 35-0. You're thinking that Colorado was going to come out and make a statement in the second half, but they just did not have it. The offensive line didn't look good in the game. The defensive line continues to give up big plays, and they have to continue to get better, man. Whether it's right now, the weakness of the Colorado Buffs is on the offensive line and on the defensive line. They're not able to get too much pressure. I believe they did have 2 sacks in the game. And in that USC game, USC beat Arizona State on a final score of 42-28. And USC can get pressure. They were able to get 10, not 10, I'm sorry about that. They were able to get 8 total sacks in the game. So pretty much they were able to handle their business as far as being able to create pressure and stuff like that. But this Colorado Buffs team going into this game is going to be in Colorado. It's going to be a tough game. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of people that's coming out because this is going to be Caleb Williams versus Shedeur Sanders. So this is going to be a box office matchup, man, because both of these are 2 talented brothers and very much the best quarterbacks in the nation right now. Shedeur is coming off probably his lowest passing yards so far this season. He's coming off of a game of completing 23 out of 33 passes for 159 yards with 1 touchdown, while Caleb Williams is coming off a Heisman-like performance against Arizona State with 5 touchdowns, pretty much 3 in the air and 2 on the ground. So he did throw for 322 yards. Caleb Williams did. And Caleb Williams is the real deal, man. And definitely if he decides to go to the NFL next season, no doubt about it, man, he's probably going to be the number 1 pick that's going to be selected. Now, there is word and talk of Caleb Williams staying back for another season if he doesn't like the situation, whatever team picks number 1. But it is what it is, man. You know, you either go to the NFL now or you go later. It doesn't matter, you know, because next year it can be even worse. So you don't know how the dominoes are going to fall with the NFL teams and who's going to go in first place and who's going to be in last place. You don't know that. You can't predict it, and none of us can predict it. But at the same time, what we do know is in this game right here, there's an opportunity for both of them to definitely cement their legacies, especially Shedeur, as he has been balling and looking like a Heisman candidate and looking like he really, really wants to compete for that Heisman trophy versus Caleb Williams. Now, it's not going to be an individual matchup between these 2 guys, but definitely it's going to be a showcase of both skill sets on both guys. So this is going to be an all eyes on me game. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in this game between USC and Colorado. Colorado has to bounce back in this game. You got to beat some of these teams that they don't think that you can beat. Now, USC is going to be tough. This is going to be another tough game. So you're getting 2 tough back-to-back games versus Oregon and USC. So the offensive line has to get better, and they have to protect their quarterback. Shedeur Sanders can't do nothing if that line can't get better, and they can't sustain block. And that's what's been the problem with the Colorado Buffs going into this game against USC, is that they can't sustain a block, and they're getting their quarterback pretty much crushed. He's taken, I think Shedeur may have gotten sacked the most out of all the quarterbacks so far this season. He has been getting sacked like crazy. So we'll see if they give a better effort in this game, because they're going to have to protect them, man. And I know that this is something that Coach Prime is going to work on. He's going to work on getting protection for his son so that he can play in an all-time elite level. Now, with Caleb Williams, normally he gets solid protection from his team, and he goes out and balls. Now, he does get sacked every now and then. I think he took a couple sacks against Arizona State. He will get sacked every now and then, but at the same time, he is always making big plays. And then not only that, coming into this game, the run game of the Buffs has not been there. I'm ready to see Alton McCaskill get more carries. He got in towards the end of the game, which they probably should have put him in the second quarter of the game to just let him go and see what he can do. And they decided to put him in towards the end of the game when it really didn't count and the game was already over. So definitely I'm looking to see Alton McCaskill get some work. I did see Smoke get in the game as well towards the end. Definitely I know that Dylan Edwards is box office and he got that speed and things of that nature. But Wilkerson and Hankerson, they just don't move the needle for me. But we'll see what happens, man. We'll definitely see what happens. This is going to be a huge game. But coming in also into this game, you're going to have some guys that you're going to have to stop on the side of the USC Trojans as well. Now, the Buffs will need to slow down running back Marshawn Lloyd. He's coming off a 14-carry game for 154 yards against Arizona State. So they're going to have to slow down Lloyd. Lloyd has been phenomenal for this team, and not only him, you're going to have to slow down the wide receiver, Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, who has been playing some great football. Brendan Rice is coming off a 7-catch, 153-yard reception day versus Arizona State and 2 touchdowns. So I think he currently has like 4 touchdowns on the season. So Jerry Rice's son can ball as well. So, man, that's crazy. You're going to have Jerry Rice's son in here, and you're going to have the Sanders kids in the game as well. So this is going to be crazy. Two legends with their sons playing against each other. It's going to be very, very nice. And it's going to be very, very competitive. So they're going to have to try to slow down Brendan Rice because he is very, very talented as well. And then you got the rookie sensation, or should I say the freshman sensation, wide receiver Zachariah Branch, who's been running returns and been doing some things as well, creating havoc out there on the field with his play as well. So you're going to have to account for those things. And then you're always going to have to account for the dual threat ability of Caleb Williams. He can run the football. So don't be fooled just because he had 9 carries and 10 yards in the last game. He could eat you up for a lot of yards on the ground if he wants to. If he decides to run the ball, he could eat you up for a lot of yards. So that's something that they're going to have to worry about, man, because the defense have not been able to stop anybody. They haven't been able to cover anyone, and it's going to be tough. And I got to admit that going into this game, even though it's in Colorado, it's still going to be a tough game. If they had a hard time with Colorado State, you know it's going to be a tough time with the USC Trojans, because the USC Trojans are a very, very good football team, and they're ranked 5th in the nation right now. And you're going to have to be on your A game. They're going to have to be on their A game when it comes to Shedeur being able to deliver that football and having a nice, clean pocket to throw in. If those guys don't protect Shedeur Sanders, it could be another long day for the Buffs versus the USC Trojans. And they can walk around with, they can walk off with a victory coming out of Boulder, Colorado. So, man, we'll see what happens in this game. But definitely, man, the game is going to be highlighted by quarterbacks Shedeur Sanders and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is the real deal, and the Buffs better get ready for him, because he can do it with his legs as well as with his arm. He is a playmaker, and they're calling him the next Patrick Mahomes, even though he hasn't played in the NFL yet. But that's the label that he's been getting a lot, that he is the next Patrick Mahomes with his ability to be able to extend plays with his legs. So I'm expecting Shedeur, man, to step up huge in this game. It is a huge game, and it's a must-win for the Buffs. If you want to put just your name on the map and you want to put your team on the map, this is a great time.